All right. Let me remind myself what you're doing. Ass class. I'm there. Let's do it.
Yep. So, Tooch, you had the most foreknowledge about this show coming in. You were the one who recommended it. You want to take the helm on like the basic premise breakdown and maybe a bit of history?
The reason I found it was because I was looking into more shonen stuff because I'm a super big fan of the genre, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just bring up a list of everything currently running in Shonen Jump, and the list was in alphabetical order. So I'm not even kidding. And that's how I found it.
You motherfucker!
See, I've heard of Assassination Class.
Yeah,
it's been getting some buzz, and a lot of the news places that I follow, they've been mentioning it. And it's always piqued my curiosity, but I've never taken the time to actually check it out before now.
It's relatively new. It started in July of 2012, which for shonen, that's pretty new.
That's very new.
Yeah, I never heard about
Most
it.
shonen series are old enough to drink in Europe, which is to say, 8 years old.
I had always seen Koro Sensei around. I want to say that not the titular character, I guess the mascot character.
Yeah.
Koro Sensei, the yellow Tupusman.
Smiley
and I was just like, well, the most recent place I had seen him before I had read the manga was in the latest Jump All Stars whatever J-Star Victory Buttfuck 9000 game.
Yeah, I saw that.
Was he playable in that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, the game has a dope cast, but apparently it's just like crapped out. It's just crapped out of the butt.
Is he not overpowered?
Yeah, he could be. It's not a good game.
He just wins.
Apparently, yeah.
You just pick him and you win so fast that you don't even have to load the battle screen.
Exactly.
He's like 7 Akumas tied together.
Ew.
In a little teacher cap. As they writhe around angrily. So I read the whole dang thing only to find out that while Viz Media is publishing a lot of weekly up-to-date translated stuff, like a handful of translated manga, like up-to-date in English on their digital weekly Jump thing, Assassination Classroom isn't one of them. You can purchase the volumes, but then you gotta wait for volumes to come out and pay like $7 instead of $2 a month or $3 a month for like the whole Jump. But not even the whole Jump. There's like 20 different books running in Jump right now, and we have like a few.
Shonen Jump is like the size of a phone book, right? It's insane.
Basically, yeah.
It comes out every goddamn week.
I mean, American Shonen Jump isn't that big, but Japanese Shonen Jump is fucking.
There's stuff in Japanese Shonen Jump that's just been like running since the book was out.
Print clearly has much more of a life in Japan, if that can still exist.
Well, manga culture in Japan, it's the cheapest, most readily available entertainment for people, and it always has been since after the end of the war.
Yeah,
it has a really neat history in that sense, much longer than TV.
Yeah. But after I read the manga, I saw that there was obviously I knew there was an anime, and I was worried because sometimes because there was only 22 episodes, and I was like, oh no, is it one of those things where they only ran it for a season and then the last arc is completely original so they can end it? But it's like no, this is gonna have the second season. And they're doing this seasonally, which is weird because it's a Shonen Jump shonen. I assumed they would do the whole run it until we catch up and then make up some shit until we get another backlog going.
Well, the series has a definite end. In fact, the current manga right now is very close to the end.
I'm gonna cry probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much a catch-22 in the way this is gonna end, which we'll get into later.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys have read up until the current date,
have.
You probably have already cried. So, Tooch, you probably already cried.
Oh, I did.
Shonen
I was reading it. I was reading it at work too.
Oh.
So I had to try not to cry at work sometimes.
Yeah, Shonen really gets your tear ducts all aflutter.
I read Laika at work. That was such a bad idea. I read the end of Laika. I got to like the end of Laika, when she actually got shot into space. I was reading that in work, and it just exploded. That was the last time I cried.
Reading. Don't do it.
So, what this show about? This show, alright, starts off, the moon gets mostly destroyed. It's
70%.
70%. It's in a permanent crescent. It should still have phases, but it doesn't. There's a lot of stuff
doesn't know how the moon works.
A lot of stuff.
Ever since Dragon Ball established, hey, you can do whatever you want to the moon and it's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate the moon!
They go to a beach resort that still exists after the moon was basically destroyed. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So the moon's destroyed, and then the culprit reveals himself as this yellow octopus monster with a big old creepy smiley face. He said, "Oh yeah, I did it. It was no problem. And if you can't kill me in a year, I'm going to destroy the Earth. It'll be even less of a problem. I'll do the whole thing. It'll be great. It'll be bad." And what I want to do, while you dumb fucks try to kill me, is I want to teach a remedial 8th grade class. Well, oldest year in junior high.
Which would be they're 14, so 9th grade.
Yeah, something like that. I want to teach this remedial class at this fancy prep school, and because I guess I've always wanted to be a teacher or something. You don't know. Fuck you.
Nick,
I'm not telling.
We need to redub Assassination Classroom starring Nikki as Goro Sensei, and don't give him a script.
Oh my!
Don't give him a script, and I don't even do a voice. I just talk like this.
Yeah, that's the point.
I haven't heard the dub, but I can't imagine Nikki is any worse.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad dub from what I've heard. I love Sonny Straits, who is Koro Sensei in the dub. He's also Krillin and Usopp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Oh yeah, he is a cool guy. Okay, yeah.
And the thing about this guy, why he's so hard to kill, is that he can move at Mach 20, which is also some soft science because they just filled that room with bullets. But we'll get to that. He seems to be impervious to most weaponry, but the government has access to special chemicals that they make into BBs and rubber knives that can kill him if they make contact.
And they dissolve his cells. But they're harmless to humans.
And also because he's in an anime, he can regenerate. Mm-hmm. What do you want?
Yep.
So, he's teaching this class. The class that he teaches is called the E class or End class. The lowest ranked class at this very prestigious prep school that is so ostracized they actually have a different campus that's run down at the top of a fucking mountain. And their existence exists solely as a threat to the other classes to keep a fire lit under their asses.
It's basically capitalism.
Yeah.
But school...
It's the way that the upper class weaponizes the lower class against the middle class. It's like, don't fuck up, or that's you.
Yep.
And it breaks my heart every fucking time.
And it is based in reality. I mean, a lot of schools in Japan do function that way.
Yeah. And
I mean, this show in a lot of ways is kind of like a successor to, say, Great Teacher Onizuka. Where, everything anime has told me about the Japanese school system. I mean, school systems in general, the world over, are the fucking pits. But in Japan, it's pretty awful.
It's pretty
and
ruthless.
Relentless. It's very ruthless. You have no mercy. You can never take a break.
I mean, and it's very evident in their media. A fucking battle royale is the epitome of that.
Kind of.
Based on the name itself, I expected this to be kind of like battle royale or maybe Danganronpa. It's really nothing like that.
Yeah,
so the kids don't kill each other.
That's what endeared me to it, because I read the premise and I was like, what's this gonna be? But I gave it a chance because I'm working my way towards trying to give all the top shonens right now a chance. But I was so pleasantly surprised that I needed to share this.
I mean, it's very much the opposite of what you would have thought, because it's interesting, because the whole current Japanese school system is very much, it's communal based, but in this pressure kind of way, where the students actually do a lot of the job for the teachers by basically putting pressure on the other students for them to fucking get in line and be good students and not be shitheads and get good grades and stuff. A lot of disciplinary action in schools comes from your peers, not from your teacher.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, which is why in anime, student councils are such a big thing, as opposed to, in the United States, it's a bunch of bullshit. In the United States, student councils are there to convince students that they have any agency, when they
just
have
like
none.
the president.
Whereas the classroom in Assassination Classroom is the opposite. It's a community, but one that exists to bolster each other, not to make... It's competitive, but in a way that lets people grow, not in a way that stifles everyone and makes everybody feel really bad.
Which is almost certainly not the intention of the school. I bet that son of a bitch, like, sadistic-ass principal wants them to be tearing each other apart.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He wants it to be Battle Royale.
Well, we'll get into the principal.
Oh, boy.
Fucking guy. Not a human.
So the thing with Koro-sensei is he's simultaneously teaching these remedial students all their classes to get them ahead in life and to try to get them back into the real world and outside of this. The school has basically put them in a well to die, and he's trying to get them out of this well. And at the same time, he's trying to teach him how to kill him, because he's like, if you don't, I sure hope you can kill me, because if not, I'll destroy the earth.
But I'm not gonna just let you kill me, because I have to teach you. If you kill me, I can't teach you.
But
if I don't die, you won't be able to do anything with the education I give you.
That was a catch-22 I mentioned earlier. It's this weird dilemma that they're constantly put in, where, like, if they don't kill this guy, they die, but if they kill him, they're never going to get ahead. Because not only are the other students against him, the staff is, everyone is against him. They will never have another teacher who cares about them the way they do.
No one will ever have another teacher that cares about them like Koro-sensei.
Well, yes.
There's no teacher like Koro-sensei.
I mean, he uses his superpowers to be, like, the best teacher ever. He uses his amazing speed powers to, like, make personalized tests for every student. To tutor every student individually at the same time. Because he moves so damn fast, he could create an illusion of, like, a persistence of memory illusion.
Double team.
Yeah.
Like, he'll, like, fucking, like... He's, like, an impossibly good teacher.
He
He'll
took
fly-
two of the
he'll just
kids
fly them
on a
places.
trip to Hawaii to see a movie. Because he can just fly to Hawaii. In, like, a couple minutes.
Oh, my God.
And he's also, like, an endearing schmuck. He's, like, this super, scary dude because of what he's capable of, but he's, like, got a real weakness for sweets. He's got a...
And boobers.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Real, perv-ass moron. And that's a running thing throughout the show, is that the main character, Nagisa, who we're going to get to, constantly catalogs his weaknesses. Most of them are just like small personality defects that aren't really weaponizable. You'd think.
It's a running gag. I love Koro-sensei's weaknesses.
Like, weak to authority.
Yeah, subservient to authority.
Never has any money. Lives paycheck to paycheck. Why is the most powerful being in the world living paycheck to paycheck?
That's funny.
I don't know.
Because that's what the economy is today.
That's what it's like to be a teacher.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, he's so fun.
Yeah.
He's all squiggly and wiggly and fun.
Although, like, when I, like, the manga was one thing, but seeing it animated, it made me realize his hands look like
they're very phallic.
No. It looks like a butt with legs wiggling out of it, like some dude's upside down in the ground with
or
his butt
maybe
out.
a two-pronged penis. I don't know. It's
two
weird.
two penises with like one ball each.
Yeah, it's his prehensile tentacles are very strange. Yeah. I don't know where that guy came up with the design, but it's very creative.
They luckily don't get gross with it.
No, they don't. No. He's besides the fact that he likes boobies, he's not, like, he doesn't really take advantage of his abilities, and he doesn't do anything gross.
And really, the booby obsession is just...
He's a teacher. He wants to have a respectable
It's just him,
image.
like, accumulating a lot of pornography.
Yeah, and I mean, that's okay.
Just sitting on a mountain of porn.
In the woods. That was so great, is that that doesn't exist anymore. It's a tradition that was before my time, the idea of finding porn in the woods.
Yeah.
But it was like that whole legend of like children finding porn and then abandoning it back where they found it when they grow up. Like, what the fuck is this?
For the next generation.
Yeah. Finding porn in the woods was the original geocaching. So we've got this cast of
this gigantic cast.
It's frankly too big, of like 20 to 30 goddamn kids. All of which get to do, like, a little bit of stuff.
Yeah.
I was surprised how much, like, I mean, it still wasn't, like, a like an equal amount, but like I was surprised at how I found myself, at least in the manga, like eventually starting to recognize the individual children and like them doing stuff and what their skills are. Because usually because like anime loves having ginormous casts and then doing nothing with them.
I could recognize the kids and what their deal was, but I couldn't for the life of me remember all their names.
No. I can't with most shows. Most shows it takes me like, especially with anime, because I'm not used to remembering and differentiating all the different foreign names and stuff. Like when it's foreign media, it takes me like 2 seasons to learn anyone's names.
Yeah, something like One Piece is easier because they don't have Japanese names. They've got like made up names.
It's even easier in Gundam because they just make up names. Like there's barely any real names in Gundam.
Yeah, whereas this is a lot harder because everybody does have a real name except for Karma.
I think it's short. I think it's short for something. That's a nickname.
They lampshaded in a chapter of the manga where everyone's talking about weird names, and he's like, "Huh, it must really suck to have such weird names, you guys."
Oh wait, no, his name is just Karma. Oh wait, Karuma, Akabane Karuma, whatever.
Yeah. Karuma.
The name Koro Sensei is a pun on unkillable teacher.
Yeah, the word is like...
Koro Senai or something?
Koro Senai and then Sensei.
Because the word for kill is Koros, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Koro Senai was like the negative of...
So here you have it, the easiest to understand Japanese pun in all of anime.
Yeah, because the 13-year-old came up with it.
It doesn't require a paragraph of caption at the bottom.
I still don't know all the layers that are in Okami. There's at least 3. Let's talk about the kids for a bit. Design. There's an interesting thing about design in that everybody looks like, regular anime kids, except 2 people have Yu-Gi-Oh hair.
Yep.
Nagisa and I don't...
Well, 3.
Well, yeah, he's not a regular student. You're talking about Itona?
Wait, oh, no, well then 4. Oh, well, because Karma, technically he's a redhead, but it's like real the color red.
Yeah, but it's not, like, it's a reasonable style. I'm talking about the main character, Nagisa, and I don't remember the girl's name. Kayano. What's really weird about Kayano is that the way that she's, like, presented in the opening sequences and the fact that she is the only other character with Yu-Gi-Oh hair makes it seem like they're building her up to be the deuteragonist, but she does almost nothing.
Yeah.
At least in the anime. I haven't seen any. I haven't read any of the manga. I know you guys know more about this than I do.
She's good. Yeah, like, there's, like...
There's a reason why she's in all the promotional material.
She becomes important into her.
That makes a lot of sense.
She likes pudding.
All she did, and hates big boobs, all she did in this series was name Koro Sensei.
Yeah. And be Nagisa's friend.
Yeah, but in the beginning he didn't have any friends because he's this wimpy little girly kid.
He's my son. I love him.
He's a good kid. He's a good kid.
He's a really good kid.
Nikki, you don't know his backstory. You'll cry forever.
I mean, I figured there's gotta be one. He was raised by a snake.
Sure.
So the main crux of this show is that it's a commentary on the inherent broken nature of education. A lot of it's not hyperbole. The main hyperbole is the fact that like they need to literally kill their teacher to live, and he's the only teacher who will ever teach them anything.
Yeah. I mean, also
the principal is hyperbole.
The principal's hyperbole, and
I hope so. I've never been to a Japanese school. I really hope it's hyperbole.
Yeah, I mean, I've read some studies that like sometimes there are occasions where teachers will engage in bullying along with the classroom if it's like for the good of the class that this one guy shuts the fuck up and feels bad about himself, which is complicated.
Yeah, because it's like you hear that it's like that's horrible, but then you think back to school, it's like I knew like 12 of those kids.
Yeah, so it's complicated, but I very highly doubt that the teachers in the show are allowed to act the way that they act in real life. Like, parents would complain. Like, the parents of the E-class would not just be like, okay, I guess that's what my child deserves.
I have no idea what the culture's like, honestly.
I can't imagine that would be...
I don't know if the parents are like, yeah, you fucked up. You have to go to mountain prison school.
I mean, like, not giving any spoilers, that's pretty much what all of these kids' parents are like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we saw some of that in the series.
Yeah,
but you see even more of it.
So I'm sure. It's definitely based in reality, but it is exaggerated a little bit.
Yeah.
just to make it more dramatic.
And from a Western perspective, it's especially exaggerated.
I don't know. If anyone's taught in Japanese schools or attended Japanese school past elementary school, let us know.
And not like studied Japanese abroad. That's not the same thing.
No, I mean like actually went to school there. Like in middle school when shit starts getting super real. Because you have to worry about entrance exams to high school, which affects entrance exams to college, which affects your job.
And also you're at the most biologically miserable point of your life. Mm-hmm. Your body and brain are trying to destroy each other. You are a living war zone at age 11 to 13.
That show definitely conveys that. So yeah, these kids, and it's a very awkward situation, because when I first saw it, I was like, really? Really? These kids are the last hope. These random-ass kids are the only ones who can kill this thing. Why isn't...
Shonen!
I don't know, I was like, at first I was like, why isn't an actual assassin at the school? It takes a while before one shows up and becomes a reoccurring character. But I'm like, it's just this teacher and these damn kids, and they have weapons, and that's it. Like, really?
They have weapons and something to prove. Also, there's a 10 billion yen bounty out for this guy, which is, I think at current rate, $86 million. If you don't live in the United States, do it yourself.
I thought you were gonna be like $20.
No, I only do that with pounds and euros. Because yen, I'm not sure.
Yen, essentially 100 yen is more or less like $1.
Yeah.
It's a shortcut to figuring it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of these kids want that money because it's like, we're never going to get, like, good jobs or whatever. We're a bunch of fuck-ups. We live in an academic situation where we're 12 and are already doomed.
Yep.
14, but yeah.
Whatever, yeah. So, like, I mean, in American schools, like, if you don't, like, by college, when you're, like, 18, if you don't have shit figured out, you're kind of fucked. Here, it's even younger. Because you gotta keep doing these fucking entrance exams to high school? Christ.
Yeah, junior high, and you have to take entrance exams to even get into a good junior high. So, it's...
This is hell.
There are a lot of tests. Japan, from what I've known, there's a lot of tests. And one of the things that they do actually do is post everybody's scores for everyone to see. Which is part of the whole community keeping everybody in line thing, which is a cultural thing.
Yeah. Over here in the United States, you basically only see that in military training.
Yeah.
Whereas
here, it's like, no.
here it'd be reprehensible. You would get torn apart for publicly shaming children.
Yeah, there it's like, that's just how it goes. You find out what you got on the test on a big bulletin board, and everyone can see your name. And how
Let's all run to the shame wall.
Shame, 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 shame. So yeah, and you have to take these tests to get into these schools. You know, midterm and final exams for each semester.
I think even Koro-sensei was like, a test is the ultimate, way to prove, what has been learned. And I'm like, that's not necessarily true. So like, even he's buying into the bullshit a little bit.
Well, he was saying that, like, it is and it's not, because you're going to forget most everything that you crammed, but the experience of, like, conquering that challenge is, I guess what he says is useful.
Yeah, that's probably what he said.
So it's like when we record a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you said, you immediately you record this podcast, Tooch, and then you take a shit, and then you forget everything you just said.
Literally. It's honestly, listening back to old episodes have been great. I laugh so hard.
Yeah, I mean, this happens like every week. Like, you go to save the file, and you're like, what did we just talk about?
For like 4 hours.
And like, that happens to me too. I'm not putting you exclusively on blast.
I'm like staring at the name file thing like, I was just doing it. I've been marathoning it for a week.
Yep, that's why cramming...
That's why cramming sucks.
Yeah.
Cramming can cram it.
That's why Koro-sensei teaches them in a teaching way, not in the fake way that everyone else in the world learns things.
Yeah, by assassinating him.
Somebody asked us to start keeping a repository of T-shirt ideas. Here's one: cramming can cram it, and then like a picture of a test. so that they know
That
we're
sounds
supposed
like
to
a
study.
shirt Bart Simpson would wear.
Just a picture of a test with like a million, just all covered in red.
Yeah, cram it can cram it. And you need to have the test, otherwise people might think you're thinking of, like, butt stuff.
Yeah. Oh, side note that we don't need to keep in the episode, but I finally figured out, like, the whole grading system, I guess, is universal, where they circle right answers, and then if there's a super right answer, you get a flower. That's what the whole Yoshi's Island grading system was.
Nina, do you think I'm gonna cut something about Yoshi's Island? Yeah, it's like circle and then double circle, and then if it's super good, circle with, like, flower petals.
Yeah, and I was like, I thought that was just cute because it was Yoshi, but no, actually that's a thing that teachers do. I guess nice teachers will draw flowers. It's the equivalent of a smiley face.
Koro-sensei draws an octopus.
Yeah, he draws a smiley
It's equivalent of a scratch and snake... scratch and snake, motherfucker. It's the equivalent of a scratch and stick... What are they called? It's the equivalent of a scratch and sniff sticker that says grape job. Fuck, what a long walk. God damn it. Anus.
Grape job, Nikki. I hope you smell of artificial grapes. Everyone's favorite flavor.
I'm honestly ready to be done with this episode after that.
We haven't even talked about any of the kids or the other teachers or...
No, I was kidding, I guess.
The great cat. No, I love this cast of characters.
Yeah, it's...
Like with most shonen, that's where it all comes together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You said that, I'm sure they get more attention in the manga, but I was pleasantly surprised by how much, like, each character did get some time to shine, do their own thing in this, 22 episode series. It's not a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, there are still some kids, I'll never learn their name.
Oh, I'm never going to learn anybody's goddamn name. I gave up. I was like,
but I know what they do.
Yeah, I know what they do. I can memorize most of their faces.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like, there's a bajillion kids. Do you want to just hit the main ones?
Yeah, just the main kids.
So, obviously, we talked a little bit about Nagisa.
Uh-huh.
Who's, cause, like, Nagisa Shiota, he's, his hair is not normal colored, so he's the main character.
And it's got, like, weird wings in it?
Oh, no, those are ponytails.
Those are little piggy tails.
Yeah, those are pigtails. Cause his hair is long like a girl's, and that's honestly part of his backstory. This is the first anime that comes up with a reason the character has dumb hair.
Yeah. Like, at first when I first saw Nagisa, I was like, it did take me to the very end of the episode to realize that he was a boy. Because, I mean...
He's very effeminate, and he's voiced by a woman who's doing an effeminate voice.
Which isn't the first time I've seen that, but to me it was his body shape. Like,
Yep.
The way he's drawn looks like a female anime character, not a
And like
male
there's
anime
constant
character.
I mean, and like every handful of episodes there will be a joke where it's known. Like it's not just you, audience.
Yeah, when they eventually like go in the swimming hole that Koro Sensei builds for them, and everybody's like, "Nice, you're a boy, ma!"
And then
You can't take your shirt off?
On the opposite, and then like for the last story arc, they had the frickin' because it's anime and there's a boy character that looks like a girl. You gotta go deep undercover and put on this skirt for yucks.
It was a really cute.
It was a cute
though.
outfit.
It is a really cute outfit. I hope I forget. Don't in the manga doesn't it come back for a second as a goof?
Yes,
Later?
that
Yeah.
same character does return.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
The character who, in the final arc of the anime, which is one of the biggest arcs in the series, when Nagisa goes undercover as a girl in this club area occupied by mostly shitty rich kids, a shitty rich kid gets a crush on him, thinking that he's a girl and he has to like distract him.
And then Nagisa basically shuts him down, but like by saying like, "My teacher said drugs are bad."
My mommy said don't drink.
He's so cute. But he's our main character, not only because of his gender ambiguity and his Yu-Gi-Oh hair, but also because he's got the greatest potential to be an assassin.
He's the scariest.
He's very frightening.
He's terrifying. I love him.
Yeah, and he brings it out very rarely, but he's got a, he's very calm when it's time to go big, and it's extremely unsettling.
Yeah.
It's called, like, he's the best at hiding his bloodlust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I still can't...
So he can just...
I still can't accept that word. Like, I know that's, like, a big part of the whole thing. Like, oh, you must grow your bloodlust. And I'm like...
Yeah, there's a lot of... Like, they use, like, they only have, like... They use the same words over and over again where they could have come up with synonyms, but they just don't because they're, like, they're imagery words, I guess. Like, they're important. They're thematic or something.
I don't know if wanting to pass a test is bloodlust. Like, I mean...
I don't know, man. Middle school.
Also, it's like, it seemed very weird to me. They're like, okay, we're gonna teach these kids to kill. We're gonna, like, you know, grow their bloodlust and encourage it. But they can't actually use them to kill people.
Yeah.
No.
Like, killing people is bad, but bloodlust is good. Like,
only this to puss.
Like, it's very weird. Only in shonen.
Yeah. Friendship and hitting people. That's what it's all about.
Okay, so...
I would say the second most major kid would be Karma.
Definitely.
Yeah,
He's the
totally.
red Oni.
Yeah, he's the most delinquent of all of them.
He's also the smartest. He's only there because he's a fucking sadistic child.
He's ranked the highest.
He's the second highest in the whole damn school, but he's just really likes hurting people.
Didn't he, like, try to kill his teacher?
Yes.
And, like, that thing he does to that guy in the finale arc after he beats him, that's, like, I'm pretty sure named specifically in the Geneva Convention.
Yeah, he's a little shitter. I love him.
That is not just being a little shit. That was legitimate torture.
Yeah, he likes torturing things. He likes breaking things, both souls and bodies. He likes to hurt.
I don't know, like, relatively for the shit that goes on in this show, it's pretty innocent.
I mean, when he's first introduced, it's like, okay. But then by the end, it's like, whatever. They just have a kid in their class that likes killing things. Whatever.
Yeah, when he was first introduced, I'm like, I hope he gets expelled. He's kind of boring. And then he got more interesting.
Yeah,
I was not digging him in the front. I'm like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah, I knew.
Oh, I'm an evil
I knew
child.
watching the show that you guys would think that about Karma, because it took forever in the episode to get there. I think either I read it quicker or it was paced better in the manga, where, like, it felt like it didn't take that long in the manga.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's a demon child. Okay. I guess everyone's okay with this. Why he got expelled and not arrested, I don't know. But he's, he fits pretty well into an environment where you're supposed to kill things. You're supposed to kill the teacher. Like, that's like a dream come true, honestly. That's part of why the show's been doing so well. It's a wish fulfillment.
Yeah, man.
You get to kill your teacher, but then also your teacher doesn't suck. It's like everything you could ever want.
It's twice.
It's twice the good things.
Who's the, like, big bully guy? Because he did a lot.
He's fun. I like that guy.
The two-toned hair, man.
Yeah, the Tycho Brahe hair.
Terasaka.
Terasaka.
Just like in his crew, he's like a big old lug of a thug, and
he's a goon.
He's apparently the dumbest of them all.
Yeah, he's something of a bully. He's like, this is a bunch of bullshit. I've got the voice of a 55-year-old dock worker. But, he goes through some good growth. Basically what it is like, I know I'm not the smartest guy. I know I'm not good at coming up with plans, but I'm good at being a goon.
Oh my god, and, like, you weren't kidding with that dock worker thing. I'm looking at his stats because he's an anime character, so even his blood type is known.
Of course.
He's in junior high. He's as tall as me. He's 5'11".
His blood type is saltwater because of the dock. And he's got his crew of other shitheads.
But I really liked, like, at first I was kind of confused that his whole arc was really boiled down to, you're not good at stuff, but you're really good at helping people who are better at stuff.
Yeah, and well, at
Like,
first
I'm still kind of grappling with it.
It's
Well,
like
at first he
recognizing
was-
what your strengths are. You know,
Yeah.
you don't excel at
Yeah.
these things, but you excel at hitting people with pipe wrenches or whatever.
Well, like, at first, he was always the most skeptical about the whole thing. He's kind of the class skeptic. He's like, I think all of this is dumb. Why does everybody love this person we're supposed to kill? Why is this chick a robot?
Why is this emoji monster talking to me?
Why
This
is
is
no
pretend.
one else freaking out?
Why is everything okay?
This
Like,
guy killed the moon!
this robot chick,
Ritsu.
Ritsu.
Okay.
In anime style, there's a robot girl in class.
Yeah, okay, so
Although
she's a
not
defense...
she's not a robot. She's a girl. I'm assuming she's a Vocaloid.
She's an AI.
She's an AI. She's a defense system from, like, Norway or some shit? Who
See,
I
like,
wouldn't-
that's the thing. It's like Norway, like this like European ass country developed the most anime girl ever.
No, the
it's
best,
just
the
fine. That makes
craziest
sense.
fucking bit was when the creator comes in to, like, undo Koro Sensei's tweaking. He's like, I'm gonna remove everything that has nothing to do with assassination. Why is she still an anime babe? Fucker.
It's crucial.
Of course she's an anime babe. And there's a lot of kids. I mean,
The rest of them, like, there's two of them. They're good at shooty guns. One's super good at arts and crafts. One is good at I like the science girl who's good at science.
yeah, Science Girl's
I like my-
really adorable.
Please drink this poison, Sensei-chan!
My favorite bit was when they asked Karma who he liked the most in class, and he said that girl, and the reason was because he would get her to make poisons and shit for him.
Well, it's actually kind of cute because she actually likes him too for some reason. And she's
He's the bad boy, and they're like 14.
Well, all the other girls were like, Karma would be the hottest if he wasn't a psychopath. So he's not on the list, which I commend. Way to go. But it's kind of cute because she's like the only girl that he talks to. So, I don't know. There's like the one girl who's really good at English. There's the pervy guy. There's the chubby girl.
It's interesting to see a fat woman in an anime. You don't see that much.
Although,
fat,
like,
young
there are,
woman.
like,
Yeah.
she is basically there for fat jokes, honestly.
Yeah.
She hasn't done anything yet, to my knowledge, to my remembrance, if that's a
Not
word.
really.
Well, baby
Nerdy
steps,
guy
I
with
guess.
glasses. Creepy girl who looks like she could kill you.
Which girl is that?
The one with the wiggly hair.
Like the ratty looking chick
The
who I
delinquent
super
one.
dig. I like that whole group, like the whole bully group, the delinquent
Kazuma?
group. The delinquents among the delinquents.
Yeah.
They're my fave.
Oh, part of the Goon crew?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Goon crew. And like for spoilery reasons, the Goon crew gets even better later on. Because it
Yeah.
adds another member. I love it.
There's the
But,
class representative. There's...
Baseball kid, or is that the class representative? I forget.
Baseball kid's a different kid.
But collector
look-
kid, girl.
Now I know why they make all their hair weird colors in anime.
Yeah. 'Cause when the faces are that minimalistic, you need it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these kids, it's like...
Sorry to be cartoon racist, I guess.
Hot girl.
Hot girl. Yeah. Hot
Yeah.
girl.
I like Hot Girl.
I like hot girl,
She
too.
has funny moments. Like when that dude is like jumping into the water like the very end of the series and he takes his drawers off and she's just like laughs at his tiny dick.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a ruthless but it's such a ruthless thing to do to a person, but it's a very powerful teaching opportunity.
Because like all the other girls are freaking out and she's just like
Well, he's the pervy one, so, like...
it's great. No, I love it. And it's like
Yeah.
in any other anime, like it's like like of course there's gonna be a pervy character, but it's like it's junior high. I'm surprised he's the only one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like, we were monsters back then. Because we, like, just discovered this shit. And it's like, does everybody know? Everybody's gotta know!
Look what I can do with this thing.
Have you heard of
Someone
boobs?
get me infomercial time. Call now.
There's that one kid who, like, all he does is make that fucking ruthless video about Koro Sensei
Oh, my God.
during
So
the
best.
island assassination attempt.
That's another
Oh my
thing
God.
that you always
That
wish
was-
you could
that was
do.
a great bit.
So then there are these other teachers who come to Class E they're really assassins who learn how the value of teaching and how the teaching is the best profession ever, as Koro Sensei says.
Maybe for Koro Sensei.
There's Karasuma, who's the second guy to come in. He is a agent of Japan's Ministry of Defense. He's been on the Koro Sensei case since they've known about it. And he is there to observe Koro Sensei, make sure he keeps his word, doesn't hurt any of the kids, because he's vowed not to hurt any of the kids.
Which is hard for him, it's probably harder for Karasuma, because he's the biggest, strongest man.
Yeah, and then Karasuma,
he's so strong.
Becomes the PE teacher, which is essentially assassination training.
The knife fighting class.
Knife fighting.
Oh, man. Now I'm just fantasizing what it would be like to have a knife fighting class in middle school. And no, that would end really bad.
Yeah, I'm surprised it goes as well as it does.
Well, because like they're using anti-sensei knives.
Still,
yeah, they're rubber.
Still.
So you could like smack someone on the head with that. You could poke an eye out deliberately.
Kids are stupid and
Kids are stupid and really mean.
He teaches these kids how to fight, and eventually he grows to have affection for him and for them, and value the experience of an educator.
And
he's got the super deep voice.
Oh yeah,
that I didn't expect from the manga.
He's very powerful.
Yeah, all the girls think he's wicked hot.
I mean, he's like shonen level of. Oh yeah, humans can do this.
Yeah, he's like a season 1 JoJo guy.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. He's like low tier one. That's low tier One Piece strength. That's like that get like Koro Sensei's top strength gets like trumped in like episode 2 of One Piece.
Oh,
but
man.
Shit.
And then the second person to come along as an assassin, who later takes the role of an educator, is Irina Jelovic.
Well, Jelovich.
Jelovich.
Because that's the joke.
Jelovich.
Yeah, they call her Bitch Sensei because they can't pronounce V, so it's Jerubichu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you motherfuckers are gonna learn how to pronounce your V's. Put your teeth on your bottom lip and fucking stay that way.
Your L and your R. You're gonna fucking...
I have a really interesting, like, anecdote about this character. So she... Well, okay, so a little while ago, because I follow Crunchyroll on Twitter, Crunchyroll is really good for, like, anime and manga and, like, and video game news and shit. Like, they're on point. And,
yeah, they really are.
They have a lot of... Sometimes they'll have, like, weird interest pieces, and one of them, at first I was like, ugh, really? And I clicked on it out of morbid curiosity. It was like some publication did a reader poll of the, like, everybody's favorite large-breasted anime character. And
sounds terrible.
Number one was Nami from One Piece, represent. But they also divided the poll. There was 2 separate polls under the main poll, and they divided it by gender. So like who were the male voters top 10, who were the female voters top 10.
Oh, that's interesting.
And Bitch Sensei didn't appear on the overall top 10, nor on the males. But she was like, I think she was like number 8 in the women's, like overall for every large-breasted character in anime, and there's a lot.
And I can believe that, because she's, like, even though, like, she's very sexy, but part of the whole deal is that, like, no one finds her sexy.
No.
Like, she's so sexy, it's
like,
not
the
sexy.
thing is, like, she, like, because her whole thing is, like, she
seduces rich dudes.
Yeah, she has that mystique, but once you know her as a person, it all crumbles, and you realize she kind of has no game.
Yeah!
No. And she's hilarious, and she's relatable, and she's super funny, and, like...
I like how her outfit, the progression of her outfits, because, like, the first time we see her, she's wearing, like, a reasonable outfit for a enormous-breasted woman to have. She's like, she's not going to be able to close that, come on. And then the last outfit we see her in, on the beach in that last scene, is this fucking insane bathing suit. I don't even know what...
I think in the manga there's one more and it's worse.
Yeah, it's like, I couldn't even parse what was happening. It's a bathing suit that she ordered out of a special trade catalog that's only available to people who professionally fuck men to death.
But it's like also she can like speak a bajillion languages and she can play a million instruments. Like everything.
There's like a stinger at the end of that one episode where it's like she can control her blood flow to change the color of her face to fake people out.
Yeah, that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it's like everybody just accused her of ripping off Koro Sensei.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
So yeah, she teaches the class English. Apparently, in the English dub, it's social studies, or which her version of social studies is how to talk to people to get your way.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
in the dub, they literally just call her Professor Bitch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, which is pretty uncool, honestly.
Yeah.
I've phased that word mostly out of my vocabulary. I still use son of a bitch and the Spanish equivalent hijueputa a lot. Hijueputa is great to say at work because I can't get in trubs.
Yeah.
Like when I drop a
bitch
thing.
a lot. I don't really say bitch out loud a lot. It exists mostly in my head. It's a dirty word that I don't let escape.
Yeah, I've stopped saying it.
In all contexts of usage, it's an attack on femininity, and that sucks.
So, like, that's not great, but, I mean, she's a fun character. Like, she teaches English using Sex in the City.
Yeah, the first phrase I just thought is Samantha. Oh, sexy time, and then Carrie just, what? That was maybe the hardest I laughed.
You are amazing in bed. Everyone repeat. You are amazing in bed.
I think like the thing that didn't that didn't translate well in hearing it like in the audio for a Japanese voice actress to do. She's supposed to be like perfect at English. Like Japanese isn't her first language, but she's clearly a Japanese speaking woman.
Of course.
Yeah, so
I mean, she speaks She speaks English pretty well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Totally. I'm sure. To the Japanese ear, it probably sounds flawless.
Like, she can do the difference between L and R, she can do B and V, she can probably do TH.
I was like, could they really not find somebody better suited for the role? And then I looked up the voice actress, like the Seiyu, and like, she has a whole different alias for when she acts in hentai games and shit, so I'm like, they got it, they nailed it, we're good, never mind.
Yeah,
complaint rescinded, she's perfect.
She's perfect. I really like her a lot. She's fun.
She's fun.
She's one of those characters that, like, you see her and you're like, oh, here we go, anime. This is just the price of entry for so much anime. It's like, you gotta put up with this shit. But no, she transcends it in enough ways.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a lot of characters in this show, or at least most of them.
Yeah.
Like, the whole premise transcends itself.
In a weird way, it does.
You know what so many of these characters' arcs are? It's them growing beyond their tropes.
Yeah.
They're learning. They're learning how to be smarter, and they're learning how to be better people.
And they're learning that, like, just because they're trapped in this horrendous system, that, like, they're being constantly reassured, like, don't worry, you can still have a life. This isn't it.
Yeah, you're your own person. You can make your own life for yourself, and you can be super cool. And honestly, by the end, Class E becomes way better than in all the other classes. Like,
they outperform on the tests.
Like, it's the class you want to go to. Like,
yeah, and like everybody gets jealous of how cool their teachers are, and
yeah,
like
they've got the best teacher and then the two hottest teachers, and then they have the most fun. PE, they get to practice killing each other.
They have to shoot guns.
Oh man, and then like as the plot progresses in the manga, like the rest of the upper class people, they all start to. It becomes less of like them getting like super pissed at E-class for not doing what they're supposed to. It sort of becomes like, man, what's this crazy fucked up bunch of kids gonna do next? I gotta see it.
Wonder what shenanigans they're gonna get into. You're just watching them.
That's what happens, because like they always like it's a running thing that like they always have to challenge A-class or upper class people to something. It's great.
And B through D are just like being Hufflepuff and just like, no, we're just gonna like we're gonna
not
graduate.
Even, they're fucking Ravenclaw.
Well, no, because Ravenclaw's like, we gotta study real hard. Hufflepuff is just like, I don't know, I'm gonna like do okay. I'm gonna have fun at magical school and not get fucking murdered.
Well, here's the thing, like, this is the most prestigious school in the country, Like, even if you're the bottom class, you're still the bottom of the top, right?
Is
Yeah,
it the country
right?
or just, like, in Tokyo?
I don't know.
I think it was one of in the country, but not necessarily the toppest top.
Well, fucking...
Still, though, you're right.
They're still not... They're not... They're just
I got
not
into Brown.
well-rounded.
You got into Brown, but it's not Harvard. Fuck you. It's
They're
like,
just not well-rounded kids. They're really good at what they're good at. They're just, you know...
yeah, that's sort of the
They
lesson
need-
is, you know, focusing on the things you are good at and making those things work for you. Mm-hmm. You know, for the one
Yeah.
guy, it's just like, you're good at being a fucking goon.
You're good at working people over.
The only other thing I think we need to talk about is the principal, I would say, is the big thing we're not talking about.
Yeah, he's the overarching villain of this series, but not the main villain of the, you know, where the season ends, there's like a more immediate villain. But yeah, this guy is...
That's just for that story arc.
Yeah, exactly. He's Gonzo,
But-
which we're going to get back to. But yeah, this guy is representative of the entire crux of this show, the whole idea of, like, the educational system is broken and cruel.
One thing that I love about this show is how, I mean, it's a shonen, right? And it's like, okay, obviously, okay, the action scenes where they're trying to assassinate is shonenized. But everything is shonenized. Studying is shonenized. Taking a test. Like, they have this visual
It's a
metaphor.
gladiatorial battle of monsters. It just turns into Berserk for a minute or something.
Yeah. You know, the teachers have... Teaching is a superpower, not just because Koro Sensei goes super fast, but it's like actually a superpower.
Being able to have influence over your students equates to turning them into brainwashed berserkers.
Yeah, like with centipedes and gross
okay.
bugs. like the principal has an aura of gross bugs. This evil purple aura of evil education and gross bugs.
And it's like it's although like and yet like as like Koro Sensei considers him like a peer, so he has to be like his teacherly honor, he has to be like, I mean, like I don't approve of it, but this is the way he wants to teach. It's like, no, it's objectively bad, Koro Sensei.
Well, also he's the one letting him teach at his school.
That may also be a Japanese thing. It was like, well, this guy ranks above me, so clearly he's right. The system works. The system doesn't work! That's the point of the show!
Yeah, but there's nothing Koro Sensei can really do about it.
Well, no, like, because it's like,
Sure
I mean,
he
because Koro
could.
Sensei sees
He's
it as like
Not
okay.
it's
supposed
like
to exist.
Well, here's what he could do if he wanted to really grift him, is that he kills the principal, flies him into the sun or a volcano or something, and then, like, uses
nothing else will probably kill him.
And
But
then
that was the deal that he made with the government.
I'm not done. And then he uses his Mach Speed clones to pretend to be the principal and fix it from the inside.
Oh no, Nikki, you figured out the twist of the whole manga! He's been the principal the whole time!
So, this principal obeys your classic shonen antagonist kind of philosophy that the strong will win and dominate the weak. And it's the will of the strong to do so. Every shonen
It's not even just
I've
the will,
ever watched.
but like the manifest destiny of the strong.
Yeah.
They have a duty.
Although, like, unlike other... Like, he does have moments where he's, like... Because he reminds, like, all the top students, like, but you still have to be on your guard, because if you fuck up, then the weak can rise and defeat the strong. That's why you can't just shrug these kids off, like, because they're gunning for you, and you have to prove
Yeah.
you're better.
You know,
But, like,
you know,
every
a
shonen I've
side
ever
effect
watched.
of this whole system is that they hungry as hell. And
Yeah. I mean, but they're a sacrifice to the system, and according to him, a necessary sacrifice. I mean, you have a class-based system, right? You need to have somebody on the bottom. And most of the time, the people on the bottom occupy the bottom for arbitrary and artificial reasons that have been manipulated and constructed. So, and he's very aware of that. I mean, he's an intelligent man.
He saw that episode of Adventure Time, too.
He's read books.
yeah, but he's an intelligent son of a bitch.
And really morbid, to the point where his own son is like, dude, you're crazy. Like, what the hell?
And, like, at first his son thinks he can, like, you know, he's, like, matching wits with him. But the more it goes on, the more it's just like, oh, wait, no, I misunderstood this entire thing.
My dad just wants me to kill everyone.
I'm being punked, too.
The strong must kill, not just dominate the weak, but fucking... Eat them. Like,
oh, no, the boomers have been trying to eat us, too!
That's the whole thing. This is their only weapon is fire with fire.
It's a food war, but that's a different anime.
Food War would be an even different anime. It was about eating other... It was like a fight. Like, two guys get into an arena, and the goal is to eat the other guy. I would watch that in an instant.
No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't know if I might not finish it.
Okay, so...
Neither would they.
But to me, this is a really fascinating aspect of shonen in particular I've noticed, which I assuming must be some kind of cultural thing, because every shonen I watch, there's this villain character who has that philosophy, the dog-eat-dog world, the Darwinian, strong eats the weak kind of shit. Like, it's always there. And
because it's a trope, it's a keystone of the genre, you know, because you have, like, it's like the shonen's equivalent of, like, the hero's journey outline. Like, the shonen has a very like a recognizable skeleton, and every different shonen is like, okay, what can we do with this? And then they flip it around a little bit.
Yeah, and the skeleton is more easy for us to acknowledge as cultural outsiders, where it's not an inherent part of our culture. It's not a given. So when we look at all the shonen, it's like, this is all doing like the same thing. I'm sure, you know, in Western media, there's the same, you know, the fucking Joseph Campbell shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, like, it just makes me wonder why that's so reoccurring more than any other thing. Like, there's gotta be a reason.
I wouldn't. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's not. Maybe it wasn't on purpose. Maybe that, like, there was just a handful of...
Oh, Tooch. There's always a reason. And if there isn't, someone has claimed and written about it.
That's what I mean. Like, there's probably an established academic reason, but as I've said several times in the show, academia is garbage and I hate it. Like, maybe, like, the like, early shonen, because early manga in general had even more simplistic storytelling, so maybe it was just, like, a character trope that just fucking caught on, and then it was just like, well, shonen has to have this now, because it's tradition.
Yeah, same thing where you defeat the final boss with power of friendship, and also the idea of organizing your story progression into bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This show did that. The other principal villain is a guy named Takaoka, who is another ex-military guy who comes in to train them on PE, who endears himself to them by, like, acting like a cool dad, bringing them a bunch of candy sweets, and then he starts beating them because he's a sadistic piece of shit.
Yeah, that heel turn was super fast in that episode. In the manga, it took him a minute. Like, enough time for me to be on the fence about him. Like, I smelled something immediately, but it took a minute. And then, like, when that turn came and he freaking just, like, straight up just punches
stomped someone.
He tiger knees her. He tiger knees that dude, and then slaps the lady like 40 feet across the field.
Yeah, and then freaking Karasuma Sensei turns over the photo, and it's like, oh.
I mean, that is one thing about the show. I don't know if it works. Is because it's balancing between really wacky, zacky, macky, packy, zany, wany antics, but it also tries to be really serious sometimes.
That's also very shonen.
And it's very shonen. So the evil level of some of these characters is, like, laughably ridiculous. Like, you can't even, like, it's like, really?
I love it to punch children.
Oh, I'm gonna lick my mouth. Oh,
you need to, this genre requires a great deal of suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, but...
Like, it's one of the reasons we haven't covered a lot of it on the show, not just because it's
Naruto world, or One Piece world, or Dragon Ball world, they're different worlds. This is supposed to be our world.
It's Koro-sensei world.
The
moon's not mostly there.
And, like, the shipping industry still exists.
There's centipedes crawling out of this man's mouth. like
they're
figuratively, but like it's still an image to us as the reader that we have to accept at face value.
Centipede will crawl out of his mouth and into someone else's mouth and like go through their eyes, and it's so gross.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah, so this guy just sucks, and he turns out to be the big bad.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Man, that animation on his shadowy mouth when he does the phone call was so cool. It was gross.
Yeah.
It was very unpleasant.
Yeah, so like the final arc of this show, after they do the final exams and they fucking crush them, they go to a resort in Okinawa, and they're just like having a lot of fun. They have their closest to successful assassination attempt on Koro Sensei, which is fucking ruthless.
Oh, it's
it's
beautiful.
so good.
Okay, we're gonna make him barfy. We're gonna poison him. We're gonna shame him ruthlessly. We're gonna fake him out. We're gonna get these water boards? I don't even know what those were. Those were fake.
We make a water cage, because that's one of his weaknesses.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, I got one more trump card. I can turn into an indestructible man.
I can turn into an adorable little desk charm.
I love that. I want one of those.
Me too.
I mean, and you can get Koro Sensei merch, but it's just his head, but it's not the head in the ball. I want the head in the ball.
Yeah, like a little bouncy ball of that. You get it in a gachapon, and you just throw it all over the place.
I do like that they have like the blind boxes of him with the different facial expressions. My favorite is the white face.
Yes!
The super blank one.
With
That's
the loops.
the best one.
Loopy loops. So cute.
And then after that, the kids start getting extremely sick, and they realize they've been poisoned by some mystery man on the phone who's like, bring the diamond boy, bring the indestructible monster man to me, and then I'll give you an antidote to the poison I poisoned you with. And
otherwise you'll die in 24 hours or something.
Bring him via your smallest boy.
Yeah,
and smallest girl.
Yeah, and it's like, you have 1 hour, and then it takes 5 episodes, so then we're in some pretty heavy DBZ time shit.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous. I'm like, you can't be serious. Like, they're just standing in the hallway, having a conversation.
having character moments.
And I'm like, what happened to the 1 hour thing? They just climbed a fucking unscalable crag. That must have taken at least
they had to
20
get the aggro
minutes.
crag.
And it's this big espionage thing. Half the class goes in.
The other class is barfing to
The
death.
other class is barfing blood.
I was like,
out their eyes.
I'm so horny, I have a nosebleed.
Can I tell you how honestly, like, a little bit anticlimactic watching that in the anime was, because the whole time I knew already that they just had food poisoning.
Yeah, like, I thought...
And everyone was saying, like, they were gonna die. I mean, like, I'm sure it was fine for you guys. You didn't know, but...
Yeah, well, I thought that there was no way they were gonna get the antidote in time, but I thought the chemistry girl was gonna create a cure. I thought she was gonna figure out that they got it through the drinks, and then she was gonna use her chemistry powers to create an antidote.
Because it's shonen, so she just has those.
But that's not what happened, and I was kind of disappointed.
Well, I mean, because, like, part of that was about showing the realer side of those other assassins, like showing them like, hey, we're normal people, we're not gonna murder a bunch of children who did nothing.
Yeah,
that's not good for our rep.
And honestly, the twist was believable, because like, if you have a really bad stomach bug, you come to terms with your own death.
You kind of do.
It's like, there's no way I can feel this bad and live. At Anime Expo, I got so hungover. I was like, I'm just gonna die on this hotel floor. This is the end. I had a good run. Ugh, I guess. And now I'm dead.
Did you have any moment of irony where you're like, I sure hope I didn't say something like, when I finally meet the creator of Guilty Gear, I can die happy because I was wrong.
Oh yeah, I did say that.
My stomach hurts.
My stomach.
I thought you were gonna say, I hope I didn't say anything I would regret, and I'm like, Tooch, not on the fucking air, because I definitely did.
Oh my god.
You shut your goddamn mouth.
Oh dear.
Talking to myself, screaming into a mirror.
I mean, this show isn't finished. The second season is going to be coming out in 2016, and there's a whole lot more plot to cover, more character development. secret backstories, all that fun stuff.
You can read the manga.
If you can't wait, you can read the manga. If you can wait, wait. I guess. I don't know.
You can read the official like I don't know.
If you can wait, that's great.
You can watch something else. I don't know.
I don't know how up to date the volumes are in English, but if you
They're not.
Well, if you can't wait even more and don't mind crimes, it's the internet. You know what to do.
You know
how to crimes. Listen, if you've been following along with our shows, you've had to commit crimes. We're criming for next week, and which is ironic because it's a cop show.
We only crime when we have to crime.
That's what every criminal ever has said.
Yeah, but it's true. A lot of these cartoons are never released.
Unlock Pepper Ann.
And unlock Fillmore. Do that too. Fuck.
Just fucking give cartoons official releases so we can consume them properly. God damn it.
Yeah.
It's so dumb that that's not a thing still.
Fuck. Are we done?
I think we're done.
It's a good show. It's all on Hulu.
It's super fun.
The dub is forthcoming, right? It's like...
It's out.
Okay. I don't know where to find that.
I think you have to pay for it. I mean, that's how
you have
dubs
to pay.
work.
I think you have to pay for it on Funimation's. I think it's on Funimation's site. I don't know if there are any restrictions on it, but probably.
I'm surprised the show isn't a contender for Toonami. It seems like something that would do pretty well.
I mean, I don't know how the inner workings of Toonami works. Maybe it's an option. Maybe they're working on it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it took them forever to air Michiko and Hatchin.
Licensing's a pain in the ass, so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt.